All right, let's get this out of the way. You officially stumbled onto what do we call this? The podcast equivalent of accidentally walking into the wrong wedding reception just for the cake. We don't know what we're doing either, but hey, that's part of the charm, I guess. If you're wondering what this is about, so are we. This is a podcast with structure of what toddlers art project: messy, unpredictable, but oddly satisfying. We are here today to talk about everything football, life, the big questions, like why toast always lands on butter side down, and how people still don't know how to use a roundabout. I have my issues with that, by the way. Here's the thing. This isn't just me rambling into a mic like a guy who's had too much caffeine. Well, it is noon here, so I'm not caffeined up as much as I would like anyway. No, I've got a partner in this beautifully chaotic train wreck. A man who's not only my co-host, he's smiling right now, if you must know, but also the only person who I know who can debate about the existence of aliens and pineapple on a pizza in the same breath. So without further ado, or any semblance of preparation, let me pass the mic to my partner in crime, Adil Ali. Take it away before I start ranting about how referees actually are just like performance artists.
Hey everyone, welcome to our podcast, our channel. We hope to keep you entertained and give you a bit of insight on how we think others should think, and how things should happen. So,
Yes, we should run for government.
yeah, it's necessarily not the right thing. It might necessarily not be the right thing for everyone, but it is what it is.
But we have decided, I think we have a great idea, we're not going to talk about politics and religion on this podcast because obviously we can step on a lot of toes.
Yeah. Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Let's not become walking targets.
Yeah, let's not do that. So what are we talking about today then? How did you like my intro? I felt my intro was very well thought of, very nicely delivered. And I think I should probably try for the Oscars, if not the Emmys.
Yeah, I just remembered, back in school when we used to read Midsummer Night's Dream. It took me back there.
Yeah. I honestly didn't even understand that English, man. Like, I don't know what that was all about.
Yeah. I still don't understand English. I'm in England and I don't understand English. Slides around.
All our listeners and viewers for today, this is the irony in where Dean and I are actually located. We should probably call this the first episode from London to London, because you're in London, England, and I'm in London, Ontario. So of all the places in the world, this is where we find ourselves. Even though we grew up in the same city, we went to the same school, spent a lot of time together, had some really long drives.
Yeah.
With a lot of
in Dubai, if anyone wants to know.
Yeah. In Dubai. Yeah. Okay, so
this is life.
What are we talking about today?
Yeah, well, you wanted to talk about David Coote for some reason.
He's the hot topic and hot button these days, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to start by drawing a line.
Okay. You go on.
Did you get that? Did you get what I meant there?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so let's talk about David Coote and let's talk about the whole situation or the fiasco that has surrounded this referee. I think this is a breaking point, not just for David Coote, but it's also a breaking point for the PGMOL and how they conduct their business, how they measure the performances of their referees, and so on and so forth, right? Like, so as a Liverpool supporter, I can tell you that this sort of issue goes back all the way to when we had incidents such as the Virgil van Dijk ACL injury, when Jordan Pickford basically tried to kill him in the box. And that was overlooked. And then we had the Mane offside against Everton. I think that game ended in a 1-1 draw. That gives us 3 points. And you know how when you're up against Man City and you have basically, a 7 years period, which you basically dominate everything, you still don't win the leagues because you're up against Man City. And then you have the Odegaard incident, which was a clear handball. Then you have the, I was actually, I saw this screenshot of this, I completely forgot on Twitter the other day, or X, I should say. I think it was Jeremy Doku. He basically hecking the hell out of Alexis McAllister, and
mm,
that should have been a red card too. So anyway, there've been loads of incidents, and they've all been, sort of around David Coote,
mm,
and like I don't understand how such oversight can be made, and why there isn't more scrutiny around the measurement internally within the PGMOL. Like even Dermot McGallagher, Dermot, whatever his name is, comes on
mm,
Sky and he basically defends referees and all of that kind of good stuff, right?
mm.
Because they're his buddies or have been his buddies and so on and so forth. And there's no like, you know, transparency into the measurement of how these referees are measured, basically.
Right.
And obviously, right now, this whole situation, it feels like somebody's out to get David Coote, right? Like they're leaking his videos of him
Mm,
sort of
mm,
and like him saying shit like this, and somebody's out to get him. But this is, I think, something a lot more sinister than what just meets the eye, right? This is just the tip of the iceberg. I think there's a lot more underneath that needs to be figured out. I think what they're
mm.
doing right now, with the uh, talks of basically foreign referees coming to referee in the Premier League. I think that's a really good first step, but I don't know what else needs to be done here. What do you think as being a neutral in this whole thing? Because this has impacted Liverpool a lot, right? What do
So,
you think?
guys, that's all the time we have for today. Uh, no, no, no. To be honest, first of all, being a Manchester United fan, I don't really care. Having said that, uh, being a football fan, I think we had a discussion about this earlier as well. Earlier, before the leak of the second video,
Yeah.
I think it was being, as we had a discussion, I told you that this is being blown out of proportion. Uh, but the timing of the second video, it really the plot thickens kind of deal. Like, what the hell is happening? I mean, so this thing happens, and I guess there were a lot of people who were thinking on the same lines as me. This is being blown out of proportion. You know, people were calling. Yeah, a lot of people were calling for his head, but there were equally a lot of people who were saying that come on, this is not such a big deal. And suddenly the second video comes to light, and you like, okay, wait, it's got people thinking now that, oh, what the hell is happening? So, really, last time around, I was a bit, as during our conversation, I was more on the side of to give him a chance and stuff. But since the second video surfaced, I'm like, okay, something is really wrong.
Omar is right.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that he needs to be checked into. I mean, PGMOL has a responsibility now to get
Yeah.
this sorted. But the thing that we discussed last time as well, that
Yeah.
old incidents, like how you listed a few incidents where David Coot was officiating the game, and there were some incidents that didn't go Liverpool's way. Well, it shouldn't have come to these videos being surfaced for PGMOL to look into those uh, those incidents. The game is very simple. The game is beautiful. The game is simple. The beauty of the game is in its simplicity. But these guys have come up with such complex rules about handballs and stuff that, they've actually brought it
Subjective.
on themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've brought it on themselves.
Yeah.
As we discussed last time, rather than having just one video assistant referee, they should have three guys at minimum, and they
Mm.
could make a decision based on consensus. There's a lot that can be done. Like when you watch a game, and there's a handball, and the referee does not give it. People around the world are saying, "Oh my God, that's a handball. Why hasn't that been given?" I don't know why such common sense cannot. I mean, sometimes it
True thing.
baffles me. Why can't these guys see that? Why
Yeah.
can't the leagues intervene? I mean, they've come up with so much laws and rules of the game, and some rules and some rules and all those things. Football is football. You can tell. I mean, they've got so much of video evidence now for each and every moment of the game. They can make out if it's a deliberate handball or not. So
Right.
I think sometimes the decisions made by them better than belief.
Right.
And I think that David Coot incident, I guess because you're a Liverpool fan and because it's David Coot, there's been a history between Liverpool fans and David Coot. this is being brought up. But there are so many decisions, like how we discussed last time. If a team is fighting relegation and um, a wrong decision sends them down, there's a very, very massive economic losses to that club. So I think PGMOL and referees have to get to a better standard of officiating, and it should be consistent as well throughout the league. It can't be like one, because you see in certain games, like some freeze, the physicality of the game is on a higher level than other games.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
referees,
No consistency. There's no consistency. Yeah.
yeah, so the referee let certain things go, but the same thing won't be let go in another game. Which so people
Yeah.
who follow football know that this kind of thing happens. But I think and we enjoy derbies. We enjoy that physical aspect of the
Oh,
game,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Because that's the
Yeah.
beauty of this game, right? That's the
Yeah. So certain leeway has to be given to players. I mean, in England, at least, where the game is a bit more physical, it's a bit more faster. So when the game is faster, a lot of fouls are bound to happen. You have to take that into consideration. So I think the refereeing standards need to elevate. They need to be consistent throughout the league. You can't have a different set of standards for the say Liverpool Everton game, and there's difference for a Fulham and City game.
yeah.
Doesn't really sit
I
with
think
me.
they've kind of done this. This is by design, right? Like this whole idea of having certain games being refereed in a different way than others is I think it's kind of by design because they use these games as a sort of a yardstick to send a message to the other teams that, by the way, this is the Premier League and this is how, this is the gold standard. Like I think what was it
They
like?
say it's the gold standard, bro. They say it's the gold standard, but you see, it's not. It's not. I
Do you
mean,
remember the
it's
Arsenal incidents, like
what?
earlier in the
Which one?
season? These referees need to be held accountable because I know they say, "Oh, he's just a human being. Like he shouldn't have, you shouldn't, overly criticize these people, and they're not superhuman, and this, that, the other." But every single person on this earth who's working is measured on their performance, and if these people can go and do whatever the hell they want,
While it was just a neutral statement from my end, like how are we making this video? The more people see, the more people are gonna have a view on it or an opinion about it, and it differs from a person to another. Referees would be subjected to unwarranted bashing, I guess, where they just made a statement, but it might be misconstrued for something or the other, and it lands them in trouble. But he didn't mean it. So I think, yeah, there should be accountability. I completely agree with you on that. To have them interview and just sort of, I think it's going to lead to public humiliation. It might be, So I think you have to put yourself in their shoes because refereeing is not an easy job. Yeah, and I understand like a mistake that you make in the game is repeated for months, even years. If it's like a blatant error of judgment. But I think, yeah, there should be some sort of accountability, demoting them to lower leagues. I don't know if that has any impact at all on them. But yeah, PGML has to do better into basically. They can't just keep coming and saying, that game 5 weeks ago, yeah, that was a wrong decision. Yeah, that doesn't help anyone.
yeah,
That doesn't help anyone.
it's done is done.
Yeah, and there are no repercussions. I mean, how? Yeah, okay, you accepted a mistake. Okay, so now, I mean, how is that helping the team that lost
Yeah,
the game, that lost 3 points? What
yeah.
about the fans? I mean, there
Okay,
has to be some accountability.
okay. I think we've spoken, we've said our piece, and I think
Yeah,
beating this one, I think they should clearly hire us as consultants for
yeah, sure.
the purpose of
If
sorting
you
the
want to
game
make
out.
your life miserable, yeah. If you want to make your life miserable, yeah. What?
I mean, it's not like it's any better when it's in their
Yeah,
hands. So,
alhamdulillah,
I mean, how
alhamdulillah.
bad could we? How bad could we? How bad could we?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that I give you that. How much more bad can we do? We
I
can't. It can't be
think
worse than this, bro.
do a bang up job, bro. Honestly.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
on to our second topic. Like, this is going to be a fun discussion because so I know there are a few names that you might have in your head, and there are a few names that I have in my head. Let's talk
Okay.
about the most underrated
Hmm.
Premier League defender currently. Currently, who's
Currently,
playing right now?
like right now. Okay,
Premier
okay.
League. Premier League, though.
So
I'm not
yeah,
talking
yeah, yeah.
Spanish or German league because then
Mm,
it's kind of
mm.
worms.
Right, right, right. So you know what? I think
For the record,
personally,
I think in Europe, I think probably Jonathan Tah. I really like that
oh,
guy.
Jonathan Tah. No, I think he's rated. He's rated. He's rated by German media and everything. And
Oh yeah.
with Leverkusen winning the last league, everyone knows him now. But I
Okay,
personally, and I think
so
he
then
plays for, you know what I think, and I think he played. Yeah, he did. He played in Euros for Germany as well. He started one of the
did
games as well.
he did.
Yeah, but I think underrated should be some guy. Personally, that would be my personal humble, my humble personal opinion.
Of
That it
course,
should be some guy who gets overlooked consistently for his national team and
and
probably does not play for a big
that's
club
going to
in
be a tough
the
one.
league as well.
That's going to be a tough one because if you're playing in the Premier League and if you're even
Hmm.
a second choice for a
Hmm.
top six club, you're going to be
Hmm.
for the for.
For your country, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah,
So
but
I think,
okay.
yeah, I
So,
think
but who's truly underrated? Who would be truly underrated?
let's start 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's do that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
And
Let's
by the
do
way,
that.
this is both of us. We're both agreeing on this, right? Like, who would be number
Okay.
three?
I can't remember names, so I'm just gonna open something on the internet to
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
see because I
yeah.
can't remember the names. It's not like 10, 15 years ago when I knew all the
Yeah, I know.
600, 650 players playing in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But off the top of my head, I remember two, three guys who I think uh,
Okay,
I
I'll start it off, and then you tell me if
okay, okay. Yeah,
number
go
three
ahead, go ahead.
underrated pick, if that makes sense. Okay,
But Premier League only, right?
just the
Only
Premier
Premier
League.
League,
Yeah.
right? Oh, yeah, yeah, go ahead.
So Ezri Konsa for Aston Villa. I think
I think
he
he's
has.
not underrated anymore. If you asked me a year ago, yeah, I would say yeah. But I think people know him now. I think not he's
No,
not underrated
no, I
anymore.
think people know him, but I don't think he's rated as highly, in amongst the British media, amongst, maybe scouts and so on and so forth, as much
Probably.
as because I think he's been a very big part of the whole Aston Villa post Gerrard evolution from a defense
Mm,
perspective, right? And I
yeah.
think he's a really good ball playing defender as well.
Mm,
He can carry the ball.
mm.
He's got a good pass in him. So I think for me, like, I think he's a good number three. What do you agree with that? Or,
Yeah, actually, I was just looking at something for him. I'm astounded actually. He's for a centre back. He's played 10 matches this season and he hasn't received any booking till now.
wow,
And he has a
that's,
goal.
there you go.
So,
See,
not
we're,
bad.
no, no, bad pick, right? Number two. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll give you number two. What do you think? Number two.
Mm. Hmm. Oh, okay. Me. Who do I think is number two? This guy is from Nottingham Forest. I think he plays left back. Aina? Or right back
Line.
or left back?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yes,
I think he's very
yeah, I
underrated.
do like him. I do
Yeah,
like
yeah.
him.
And
And
I
you know
think,
what? It's funny. I'll tell you a funny incident. I think
tell
it
me.
was Costas and Ibrahim Konate. They were, I don't know, walking to a game or something. And I guess they were like passing by a zoo or something. And then somebody said that Aida. Then Ibrahim Konate is like, yo, isn't that Nottingham Forest defender? Well, Aida. Man,
Yeah, so I think and with, Nottingham is doing so well. I'm so happy for that team, really. You know
I
how
agree.
we have personal affinity towards Nottingham
Yeah,
Forest.
yeah, we do.
So I'm so happy for that team. So I
Yeah.
think a big part of that team, I think if I'm not wrong,
You
okay,
know,
they've got
this is,
conceded less apart from Liverpool, I think they're the second least. Like Liverpool have conceded 6 goals throughout the season, and second least is Nottingham Forest at 10.
oh, wow.
Everyone else has conceded more than them. So
That's,
I think a big part of them being fifth on the Premier League table currently is their defense. They are
nice.
making they are not and they've not scored many as well. So
Yeah. Well, that's their issue, right?
in top 10 only no, none have scored lesser than them. They scored only 10 goals. No, 15,
Well,
sorry,
that's
15
that's
goals.
Nuno Espirito special. Because remember he had
Yeah.
this similar issue
Yeah,
at
with
Nottingham Wolves, yeah. Because
Wolves,
he was
yeah, yeah,
high at the back, but then from an attacking perspective, he was
yeah.
always kind of short. I mean, he did sell like there were some really good products that came out of Wolves as well, right?
Wolves. Yeah, his Wolves are really something. You
Yeah,
never knew what kind of game would we watch once Wolves were involved.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes they would be very hard to beat, or sometimes they can ship 3 goals
Right.
before the break.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so I think Nottingham, and I think this is their second season, right? They got promoted last year, and this is the season they continued. I think so. So because I remember they bought left, right, and center last season. They invested heavily in their squad, and I was like, if they go down, they're gonna have big problems.
Yeah.
But they stayed up, and I think at that point in time, because they had brought in so many players, the gelling issue. But
Yeah.
now they're gelling well together, and they've got a manager as well who has a pedigree. So I think you're seeing the results now. Definitely, Nottingham Forest is one of those teams this season which is proving hard to beat.
So yeah, they got promoted in 2022. So this will be the
Mm.
third season.
Third season, okay.
Yeah. Is it the third?
What's your last? Yeah,
Uh,
22. So they got promoted in 22. So 1 minute, let me just check.
22. So 23 will be the first season, and 24. Yeah, this is the third season. Yeah, we're good. Which reminds me, did you hear about the Olympic Lyonnais issue?
Something was I read a
They
small
they
this
got
thing
handed a provisional
relegation,
issue.
right? Yeah, why? What
Because
for?
they have 500 million. They're 500 million in debt, and so unless they
Wow.
clear or show a bit of financial health before the end of the season, they'll be promoted into whatever the League Two is.
Demoted.
And there's some big names in that Olympic Lyonnais squad. I'm talking some really good. Zaha is at Olympic Lyonnais, isn't he?
No. Zaha is
For
in
Zaha,
Turkey.
is he?
Zaha is in Turkey.
Is he really?
Galatasaray or something.
Galatasaray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, my bad. But you
Yeah.
know, there's one player that I really like in.
By the way, before we move past this, who's your number one underrated this
Oh yeah,
My number one underrated defender would be this guy from Brighton. Now that you mentioned Brighton, I remember. There's a centre back at Brighton who he's
Lewis
scoring
Dunk.
so frequently. Yeah, Louis
Yeah.
Dunk. I think he scores so frequently. Like, why is
Okay,
this guy not in the bigger
I
team?
can agree with that. Yeah, Lewis Dunk I like
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
I think he's been underrated for a very long time because he's been there
yeah.
like since they got promoted or something, right? Like they
Yes, I think so too. Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
great.
So you were saying something about the third topic.
So the third topic is again a very contentious one. And the reason that I say that is because this is one of the reasons why we love the Premier League. It's very unpredictable. Your top four this year is not going to be your top four next year. Your champion this year is not going to be your champion next year. Although in the past 7 years or 10 years, whatever, we've seen City lift the trophy so many times. It feels like,
Right.
like we're playing the German league. But obviously, we know the standard City have set. They've not only got a brilliant coach, but they also have all the money in the world. And so we'll
Right.
see how the 115 charges play out. But let's take out the number one spot maybe out for now or City out. But
I think it's unfair to City saying that they have all the money in the world. Now, I think they've been very prudent in their spending and
well,
their. No, really. I mean, they're spending players for such huge figures. If you see the net spend for past 3 seasons, just 1 second. Let me just
yeah, why do you do that?
get it.
I'll pose the question. The topic really is the top six in the Premier League dwindling, and are we starting to form like, more fluid top six? And there's no, maybe top three. There are three big clubs in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Manchester United always is in the mix. Obviously, Liverpool's there, and City. And outside of these three clubs, money wise, perhaps Chelsea, Arsenal, because they're London clubs, and then I mean, like there isn't, and Newcastle, of course, with all the money that's coming their way as well. Although FFP obviously would have things to say about that as well. But we have Brighton, we have Aston Villa, we have Wolverhampton always coming in the mix, sometime or the other, and then we have out of the blue, a West Ham come into life out of nowhere, and they go on a really crazy run and like a freight train, really. So, what do you think? Do you think the top six is the top six, and like that's not going to change, and like, or is it? In fact, we're seeing sort of the evolution of the Premier League, which is the money doesn't matter anymore. It's as long as you've got the right backroom staff, the right coaching, the right setup, things start to get better themselves. And, then getting players at 13, 14 years old is all about buying a mindset, not buying, the skill.
I think top three is set in Premier League. Liverpool, Arsenal, and City. The other three keep changing. I think, and I personally think that's only because of these other teams' involvement in Europe, not just in Premier League, because their resources get
Yeah.
stretched when there are so many competitions, and
Thursday,
obviously they
Saturday.
want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's what's that called? And they want to do well in those competitions, so they don't like if Aston Villa is now in Champions League, as you've seen, and they were doing really well for themselves. But I was surprised to see now they're not as high on the table now as they were to. They finished fourth last year, right?
Yeah. They're obviously playing the Champions League. So, yeah.
Yeah. So
But yeah, they're struggling. They're struggling right now, just like Newcastle struggled last year, right? They finished eighth.
exactly, they're ninth right now, Aston Villa, and we know Aston Villa had the team to challenge anyone on the
Yeah.
day.
Oh,
But because of this added competition and in Champions League, you're not playing small teams. You're playing champions of other leagues. So obviously you have to bring your A game there. Um, while so this season, let's say for instance, as we were talking about Nottingham Forest being on fifth as we speak, they're just there because they don't have to play Europe.
sure.
If they had to play Europe, I don't think they would be as high.
Different ball game altogether.
Yeah, exactly. So until and unless the top three, because they have a seasoned squad, they have good squad. They can shuffle their players. Their players are used to playing the Champions League. They can sometimes you get overwhelmed as well. So it takes a mental toll for you to go to Spain or Turkey to play your games. Might take a mental toll. Um, so I think that's the reason why there's more fluidity in terms of I won't say the top three, but bottom three of the top six. That's why we keep seeing a different mix of teams every other season. However, I think in the top three positions, it's always been City, Pool, and Chelsea. City, Pool, and Arsenal. Yeah, yeah. Chelsea are on their way back as well. So I think in a season or two, because they've spent like crazy.
Yeah.
If
They
they
2 years ago, I wouldn't say
yeah,
Arsenal comes to the top three, right? I think Chelsea was more of that top three team.
yeah. But since this guy, what's his name?
Teta.
No. Yeah, Arteta coming in.
I think Odegaard is a
Roman
really big.
Roman Abramovich leaving Chelsea had an impact on Chelsea as well.
That's
I
true.
think.
That's true.
I
Because he
think
was a
since he
football.
left,
I don't think Todd Bowley's he's a Yank. What do you I mean? He's an American, right? Like
yeah.
they just care
No,
about the bottom dollar.
for the sake of Chelsea seeing, no, I don't know. I mean, it's weird. It's a weird approach. He cares about the bottom line because he spent like crazy. He gave out contracts like crazy. So I don't know if he is. I don't know what he's thinking. Honestly,
Yeah.
the way he did spend money,
Because yeah, I
it
think
doesn't make sense.
he strictly treats players like I know on the balance sheet they are assets, right? Like you're adding value and
They are.
shit over a period of time. But he's taken that quite literally because it doesn't help an asset when the asset's not working, he's not on the production line. The
Yeah.
asset's
Yeah.
will dwindle. It's not going to work out well for the asset. And so I don't think he had entered that concept completely. And then he just basically, okay, I'm going to go buy this.
Let's not simplify it like that.
I think that's
The,
what we're
the
doing
guy,
here. Like
I
we're
think the
trying
guy
to
is a billionaire.
simplify.
I think the
Yeah.
guy is a billionaire. I think he knows something. Probably we're not looking at it. Probably 10 years down the line, there's something comes to light. We're like, I thought Boli was a genius.
Until that moment comes, decide the
Because,
shit out of it.
like people used to make fun of Elon Musk, and they still do. But he's contributed a lot as well.
Yeah.
Now he's more close to being a genius than being considered a lunatic.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it might end up like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if yeah, that's a different topic. Maybe we can discuss that one
Yeah.
of these days, right? Like
Yeah, so
this.
but I was saying maybe when Chelsea, because Chelsea, as I'm seeing right now, the table is in front of me. Chelsea's third right now as we speak. Arsenal's below Chelsea.
Hey, what's on top of the table?
Can't see, bro.
Hi,
Too
is
high.
it too high? Is it too high?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I
Liverpool.
can. I don't think United supporters can see the top of the table.
I can't see the United as well because it's too low.
Oh my God, this is too
You're
good.
13th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never did I think in my life and this was.
Well, it's actually
Uh,
sad, but I
Need
do
to get
enjoy it.
this one in order, bro. It's been too long. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. They still have the resources. I don't know. There's so many bad decisions one after the other that has led to this state.
Well, I
By the
think.
way,
Go ahead.
over the weekend I had visited White Hart Lane. I went to the stadium.
How was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
experience?
yeah. Well, it's a really nice stadium to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's very impressive.
your
Very impressive.
stadiums, right? And
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, it's very pretty.
actually, pitch, or was it just like? Did you manage to get
No,
on
no,
the pitch?
no. The access to pitch was locked. I mean, they had put gates. You know, the common area that they have for F&B.
Yeah.
I was there. The event was there basically, and they had put these shutters. But I saw through the shutters, I saw the pitch, and it looked beautiful.
No kidding.
And the seating, it was really nice. It's
I'm.
very. They've got like very spacious. So obviously, this is part of planning and development. They've got spacious walkways for fans to get in, So
Yeah,
yeah, that
of
was
course.
really impressive. Yeah, a lot of open spaces for people to walk around and get access to their seats and stuff. So it was a very impressive stadium, very impressive.
Well, that's good to hear. Like space and London usually don't jive, so
Yeah.
very
I
refreshing to
know, I
hear.
know, I know.
I was there,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I've got nothing to compare it with because it's been the first stadium I went to. Hopefully more.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good experience. It boasts because basically there are not a lot of high-rising buildings next to it, so you can see it from far. And it really stands out because it's silver and shiny. And I
Uh,
was going morning 10, 11 o'clock, so the sun was out and it was really bright, and you
yeah.
could see it like a big sort of
Oh,
thing. Yeah, so big thing standing right in front of in the middle of all these other buildings. So it's you can see it from far as well. So it was really nice.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Must have been
yeah,
a good experience. Well, after
yeah.
me,
It was
bro.
all right.
Okay, guys. So it's time to wrap up the first episode. I think we did pretty well. We really spoke our mind. That was the idea, to speak our
Yeah,
mind and just do what we do, which is talk about stuff that we always disagree on, and sometimes we agree on stuff as well.
yeah. Well, I think today we agreed more, but yeah, they'll find out.
If I think this is like, the what is it, the honeymoon period where we actually
Yeah,
agree on
probably we're
episodes of the
being nice
podcast.
to each other. We're being nice to each other in public.
Exactly.
In
And
public.
then, and well, we'll
And
always
then
be
the
in public.
and then the
So we're
nights come on.
exactly. And then we'll have some fun. But
Inshallah. Yeah.
anyway, guys, see you on the next episode.
Yes, guys. Take care. Stay safe.